Oh, there's a fish. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fishing with Gramps, presented by American Legacy Fishing Company, right here on YouTube. We are still in that summer to fall transition, and the bass aren't really super active, super chasing. Throwing a chatterbait, no strikes. Don't seem like they really want anything really moving that fast. Today we're talking about the stupid tube. That seems to be the bait of the day. And what am I talking about? A little tube with an EWG hook and the lead head inside. One of the things I'm always talking about when I talk about bait casters is a 7-foot 7.3 medium heavy fast action rod with a reel that's like a 7.5 to 1 gear ratio, 12 to 15 pound test fluorocarbon. That is my, if I only had one bait casting rod and reel combo, that is my do everything combo. And for me, the stupid tube is the do everything bait. You can skip it under limbs, under docks, around logs. It won't get hung up. You could throw it over grass and in grass and around grass edges, which is kind of what I'm doing right here. It just looks like a bluegill in the water. This is a green pumpkin, and I've dyed the little tentacles on it chartreuse, so it gives it like a live action look, and fish just hit it. Because I'm not fishing it Texas rigged, where it would keep it kind of on the bottom with the tails kind of pointing up to imitate like a crawfish, because I have this stupid tube jig head, it just lets you fish this thing so weedless, but it gives it real action in the water. And I just pop it, and just it is so erratic that it doesn't look like anybody's controlling it. So it's not like a spinner bait or a chatterbait where you're just kind of pulling it straight back. When you twitch it, it just goes anywhere. It's like throwing up against this grass edge, that little set of stump and wood there, and I can come straight through that and just not get hung up. It's got a real lightweight head, and the action in the water is awesome, because this solid body on the tube jumps and darts, and then as you can see, those tails they act like the back end of a bluegill. And you can throw this thing anywhere, in grass, around wood. I skip it under trees. I mean, it goes anywhere and rarely ever gets hung up. It's great if you're in a boat, kayak, a bank angler, because it just doesn't get hung up. Oh, there was a bite. Do I have it or not? Yep, sure do. Oh, this one's giving some good pull. There we go. Right on cue. Dragging it around some weed lines, and he came out and nailed it. And this thing is like a sleeper. There's not a whole lot of people that throw it anymore. I know Hellabass throws it, but I caught one of my biggest fish on the year on this thing earlier down at Patoka Lake. I'm just casting this tube back next to us, dragging it around. The log we just passed. Kind of hitting both sides of it since it's kind of pointing this way. Uh-oh. Oh, we do have a fish. He's under that log. First I thought we got stuck, but no, we got a good fish. Oh, we got a big fish. Yeah, you're a big fish. Get in here. That is a big fish. Oh, wow. I'd say we found an upgrade, boys. Drop this tube under a log and boom. There we go. Get this stud back in the water. Woo! My first 20-incher on the catch board. Let's go. What a beautiful fish. Now, a lot of times I'll skip it in open water because I want the bass to think maybe it's a bait fish that's being chased, and that may trigger them to hit it because they think somebody else is trying to get it. And even if it just skips just once and then they hear that second plop, longer cast because this water's so clear. The trick seems to be making sure I'm far enough back so the bass don't see me instead of getting up super close like I would if the water was a little more stained. As Debo would say, fine wood, pitched wood. That's what we're all taught. That and where there's grass, there's bass. And I'm around both. So that's just me controlling my thumb, controlling the spool as it gets there, and then I stop it just as it gets to all the stuff. Starting around the outside of it, working my way in. There's probably a lot of grass in all that too. So as you can see, it basically just kind of one hops and drops, which is what I'm trying to do. They may not be in the shallow stuff. Keeper on a stupid tube. It ain't huge, but it's a fish. All right. Nice 15 and a half. That time we caught something decent. Let's go. That's the hard part about the tube. Sometimes I grab the tails and don't get the hook. You go to set it, and they just let go. But if they actually inhale the whole thing, you got a good shot at getting a hook in them. And some people will say, well, why throw it? Well, if it gets the bite, it at least gave you a chance. Now, the guys that throw these in the river for smallies will use an exposed hook. Whereas I'm pointing at all these, over all these laydowns and whatnot. I want something a little more weedless, if you will. Lets me pull it through because I can see all the laydowns right here. I'm probably a little too close right now, so they can see me in this crystal clear water. But I caught that one because I was further out casting in, and I wasn't as close as I am now. So I need to be making longer casts because that water is so clear, and I kind of need to get away from the bank. But I also want to hit some spots up there. Now there's a water inlet either here or over there. I'm not sure which, but I'm gonna check. And anytime you got someplace where water runs in, because there's another pond over there, it must be up there because I don't hear it here. But this is a nice little point right here, so I'll fish it quick. Got a big old crappie over here not too long ago. another 15 inches or so. Sweet. He might be a little bigger. Find out. Another one hooked right in the schnoz. Nice. All right, we need to get moving. Need to fish this little pool area right here, and then we got to head back towards the truck. So I got one other corner, well, two corners I want to hit on the way out, and the sun will be down in no time. One of the things I really like about this Lew's Pro TI and most of the Lew's reels and some of the Daiwas is that the thumb bar is high enough when you cast it that if you're right-handed like me and cast like I do, you can put your thumb under it and pop it up. Can't do that with a lot of the Corrados, which are why I mostly use those for moving baits. If I've got something where I got to cast and be ready to snatch it on the fall with my right hand, I like the Lew's and the Daiwas for the ability to be able to stick my thumb under there. Let's see how I cast and got under all those branches, all the way under that stuff. Really been cool if there'd been bass sitting under there, huh? That would have made such a worthy cast. But as you can see, you can really shoot it back into the corners. I'm just twitching it still with my right hand before I switch it over. For me, the stupid tube and your good old standard medium heavy fast action bait casting combo, great way to catch a lot of bass. And again, we're still in that transition, so these fish aren't super aggressive. I've spent the first bit of my time out here throwing swim baits, chatter baits, spinner baits, swim jigs, just to see if they were fall bite mode, but nope. We slowed down and picked up the old stupid tube, and that caught us some fish. Now my spool is pretty loose. I've got my magnets turned up a little bit, but right now it's mostly about my thumb control and experience of using bait casters for so long. A novice would want to turn the brakes up a little bit, have a little more tension control until they get used to using the bait caster. Hopefully a few more weeks, these bass start picking up. But it's like the whole time I've been out here, I haven't seen any shad being chased at all. Yes, Mr. Squirrel. I know you see me. I'm not bothering you. You might want to shut up. It's squirrel season. Somebody might be out here hunting. Why you being all loud and stuff? I wasn't going to talk about this, but looking up at the sky and how beautiful and everything it is. This coming Sunday, this is the 1 year anniversary of my mom's passing. And if you've been following the channel since last year, you know she had cancer of everything basically. That gave her a couple of months, but my sweet old mama lasted almost a full year. And my dad's fighting cancer and has been. He's dealt with several bouts of various cancers from Agent Orange. His fights have been successful so far, and he's still in treatment and whatnot. He's doing all right. But found out this past week that my bride is fighting that fight once again. She had breast cancer several years back, and luckily it was all in one tumor in her chest. And they took it out and, you know, treated her with chemo, and she's been fine since. And this week we found out that she's basically going to be dealing with the same thing yet again, so here's praying it's all in, you know, one area again and treatable. She actually goes for her doctor's appointment again tomorrow for them to actually do their treatment plan, but I know she doesn't like me talking about this stuff on, you know, in public. She's a pretty private person, but if you wouldn't mind, I obviously am a man that believes in the power of prayer, and I can use your prayers. She means everything to me and my grandbaby. She's my good luck charm. Whenever I'm not catching any fish, seems like if I call her, I'll catch at least one. But say a prayer for me. All right, let's talk about tackle real quick. I've got this 5/0 60-degree EWG hook, and what the 60 degrees means, it means that the point of the hook is pointing straight at the eye of the hook. These are from a company called Bite Me Tackle. I'll link them in the description below. And I like a big tube. These are from Snack Daddy Lures. They're 4 inches. This color is the Ultimate Green Pumpkin, and I buy these in bulk because I use a lot of them. But I like the 5/0 EWG because it ends up looking like this. So there's plenty of hook, but when the fish pushes down, but I like a big hook and a big tube, and these pair up perfectly. So let's talk about how we rig it. So this lead head is going to ride right inside the end of this tube. So what I like to do is I will take this and I will give it about a thumbnail, but right here is where I want this to come out. So I'll just hold it, and I'm going to take this hook, and before I get started, I'm going to go ahead and wet this lead head. Just put a little saliva on it, and you'll see why here in a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hook point, go straight into the tube, and fold it down until that point is right where my thumbnail is, and then I'm going to come out nice and straight. So now that I've got the hook out, like I said, about a thumbnail down, I'm going to pull this hook through, and that's the reason why we wet it with saliva, is to make this turn. So I'm pulling it all the way up, and now this hook is pointing down this way, and the eye of the hook is right up here in the front. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to line this up straight, and then I'm going to fold the tube and push that hook point through and have it come out straight like that. And then I'm going to push the material down so that hook point pops right out. Then I will take and lay the tube down flat, and this way when the fish bites it, it's just going to go boop. Now you can take and expose it just a skosh, just enough so it stays weedless. And that's the stupid tube. So let's tie it on. Alright, when I'm fishing the stupid tube, I use 12 to 15 pound fluorocarbon. Basically whatever you have on your spinnerbait, fluke, Senko rod. So I use improved clinch knot, come through the eye of the hook, and then you can either bring it together and twist it 5 or 6 times, or you can take it and wrap it around 5 or 6 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Grab it and come through the loop at the bottom of the twists, and then back through the loop that you just made, and then just pull the tag in and the main line together, wet it, draw it tight, pull the knot down to the eye, grab both lines, pull it tight. And I like to dip my ends in chartreuse just to give it a little bit of a contrasting two-tone. So what am I fishing with today? I've got my Dobbins 733C, which they say is good for Senkos, flukes, spinnerbaits, and in my case, the stupid tube. It's a 7'3" medium heavy fast action rod. Again, the bait casting combo that I say is the must-have for every bass angler. 7 foot to 7.3, any of those lengths, but medium heavy fast action covers the most amount of baits to me for one rod, one reel in a combination. On top of it, I've got a Lose Pro TI, overkill for the majority of people bass fishing, but a very nice reel nonetheless. 7.5 to 1 gear ratio. Something a little more affordable, this 2021 Luzmont Crush combo, 7 foot, medium heavy, fast action, 7.5 to 1 gear ratio. This is a good combination. I've actually got a discount code at American Legacy Fishing Company if you want to save 15%. I'll drop it down in the link below. And then my favorite budget combo in this category, a 7 foot 2 medium heavy extra fast action Shimano SLX rod paired up with the Shimano SLX 15-pound fluorocarbon, and again a 7 gear ratio. And this combo, when I bought it, was $140 at American Legacy Fishing Company. And guys, keep your eyes out. Lots of Black Friday sales coming at American Legacy Fishing. Have you fished a tube before? Have you rigged it stupid tube style? Let me know down in the comments below. If you catch a fish using this, tag me on Instagram, let me know. Or if you don't have Instagram, just shoot me a picture to fishinwithgramps@gmail.com. Until next time, get outside when you can and make some memories, one cast at a time.